Good morning, dear students. I am teaching chapter 4, and name of the chapter 4 is the heat flow and temperature. And today I will teach activity 4.4. Activity 4.4 is the prove that metals get heated by conduction. Activity 4.4 prove that metals get heated by conduction. What are the materials required for the test? Flat iron foot ruler, 4 brass pins, wax, brick, Bunsen burner. What are the method? Take a flat iron foot ruler and on the foot ruler fix 3 brass pins, and with the help of a wax you can fix the brass pins in the ruler, and place the ruler on the table just like this, and hold the ruler in position with the this is the ruler, and you will put 3 pins here, here and here, and this is the table, and you have to put a ruler like this, and with the help of wax you can put 3 pins here, here and here, and then heat the far end of the ruler by means of a Bunsen burner. Then by means of a Bunsen burner you will, this is the pins, and here you will put the Bunsen burner like this, and pins are here, and then it is noticed that after some time pin number 1, this is the pin number 1, 2 and 3, and here Bunsen burner, in pin number 1 drops as the wax holding it melts. First pin number 1 it will wax will melt, then it will fall down, and then after some time pin number 2 falls, and so on. Then after pin number 2, then pin number 3, and from this activity it is clear that heat travels from the hot end of ruler to the cold end without the actual visible movement of the particles. In this is the ruler, and you have, with the help of wax, you put pin number 1 here, 2 here and 3 here, and here you will put the Bunsen burner. Then you will see that when it first pin will drop, then second pin, then third pin. So we can say that heat energy travels without the actual means. So we can see that heat travels from the hot body to the cold body without the actual movement, visible movement of the particles. So in this activity it is given activity 4.4. Activity 4.5, materials required. First, activity 4.5, to prove that rate of flow of heat is different from different metals. It is different from different metals. Materials required: 1 iron rod and 1 copper rod. 1 iron rod and 1 copper rod of the same length, same differences. In this activity it is given that flow of heat is different in different metals, and 8 brass pins, wax, 2 iron stands and a Bunsen burner. Fix 4 brass pins on a copper rod and an equal number of pins on a iron rod. This is the copper rod, this is the you have to put like this. This is the copper, this is the iron rod. 2 iron rod you have to put like this, and then heat both the rods with a Bunsen flame that equal lengths of the both rods are within the flame, and in few moments it is noticed that pin number 1 on the copper rod drops, and after that you will see that pin number 1 which is attached with the copper rod, it drops. After some time pin number 2 on the copper rods drop, and it is followed by pin number 1 on the iron rods, and after that pin number 1 from the iron rods, and thus on the whole pins fall from rapidly from the copper rod then the iron rod. First, what is the pins are attached to the copper rods, it will fall down, then from the iron rod. then thus the activity proves that the rate of flow of heat is different for different metals. And from this activity it is clear that copper is a better conductor. Copper is a better conductor of heat than iron, and it has been found that silver is the best conductor of heat, and the next in order are copper, aluminium, gold, iron, etc. Practical applications of heat insulator. Practical applications of heat insulator. Bad conductors help in conserving energy in a system. Glass wool, cotton, felt, slag wool, asbestos, enclosed air, vacuum, etc. are the common insulating materials available. First one is we wear woolen cloths in winter because woolen yarn contains a large amount of trapped air. Woolen yarn consists of a large amount of trapped air, and since air is a bad conductor of heat and it does not allow the body heat to flow outward, as our body stops losing heat, we feel warm. And second, too thin woolen blankets. Too thin woolen blankets are warmer than a thick woolen blanket because there is an extra layer between which air trapped and which acts as an insulator and does not allow the heat from the body to flow out. Third one, it is for the same reason that we wear a number of garments in winter such as undershirts, shirts, sweaters, coat, etc. rather than one thick garments, because extra layers of air which are trapped between every two garments act as a insulator. Fourth one, birds puff up their feathers in winter because in doing so they trap a large amount of air. They trap a large amount of air which in turn acts as an insulator and does not allow their body heat to flow out. Fifth one, Eskimos make igloos out of snow because snow contains a fairly large amount of trapped air which acts as an insulator. Thus, the heat generated within the igloo does not flow out and hence it keeps them warm. And animals, sixth one, animals in the cold countries are generally covered with thick fur. The fur traps a large amount of air and acts as an insulator. Thus, the heat generated within them does not flow out and hence keeps them warm. Seventh, mud houses with thatched roofs keep cool in summer and warm in winter as compared to concrete houses. It is because the thatched roof contains a large amount of trapped air. Similarly, mud is a bad conductor of heat. Hence, in summer, heat from outside does not flow in, and in winter, heat from inside does not flow out. Thus, they remain cool in summer and warm in winter. 8. False ceiling is provided in rooms and its space in between is filled with asbestos or sawdust so as to keep the room cool. The reason behind this is that wood used for false ceiling is a bad conductor of heat. Similarly, the air trapped in sawdust is a bad conductor. Thus, heat from outside does not flow in and the room keeps cool. 9th, appliances like electric kettles, electric irons, electric ovens, soldering rods, cooking pans, etc. are provided with wooden or plastic handles because they are bad conductors of heat. Hence, the heat from the hot appliances does not flow to the handles, with the result that we can hold them easily. 10. Slabs of ice are covered with sawdust or gunny bags to prevent them from melting. The sawdust or gunny bags contains a large amount of trapped air which acts as an insulator and does not allow the heat from the outside to reach the ice. 11th, and in cold countries, double glass window panes are used, leaving a gap filled with air. The trapped air acts as an insulator and does not allow the heat from the room to flow out, thus the room keeps warm. Steam pipes are covered with asbestos or glass wool to prevent heat losses due to the conduction. And now activity 4.6. To prove that water is a bad conductor of heat. To prove that water is a bad conductor of heat, materials required: a test tube, ice cold water, small bits of ice, wire gauze, an iron stand, Bunsen burner. Method: take a hard glass test tube and in it drop a teeny piece of ice wrapped in a copper wire gauze. Fill 3/4 of the test tube with ice cold water and clamp it in an iron stand as shown in the diagram 4.13. Then what you will do, heat the test tube near its mouth with the help of a Bunsen burner, and it is observed that in few moments the water near the top starts boiling and steam is given off freely. However, ice placed below does not melt. This shows that water is a bad conductor of heat. Water is a bad conductor of heat as the heat supplied to water is unable to melt ice. Ice cold water is used to prevent ice from melting by taking heat from the water or the surrounding. So we can, by this activity, it is proved that water is a bad conductor of heat. Water is a bad conductor of heat. What is the ice is present in the test tube, upside it is not melting, and then you can see that. So by this activity it is proved that water is a bad conductor of heat. Till here you will take revision till activity 4.6.